Well, hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today, as always, I bring you the review of this week's chapter of Fairy Tale 483 of its name, The Seven Stars. And before I even start the chapter, I want to say something. I want to say something that's been bugging me for a while now with Fairy Tale, and especially this week because both chapters, Fairy Tale and the Seven Deadly Sins, were quite similar in this regard. I think that, especially in Fairy Tale, the latest chapters in terms of action have been quite quick. They are going by very fast, at least in my opinion. Yet again, another one of the Spring and 12 falls within two chapters, or three if we count the one where he appeared. Yet another Springen that falls within two chapters, and without even the slightest effort from the one that's fighting against them, against him in this case. First we had Jacob, who fell in the most ridiculous way imaginable, and that had a still a good fight. Even though I didn't enjoy the fight, it was still a good fight, but he fell like very quickly in the most stupid way that I could ever imagine. Well, at least the way that set his defeat up was stupid, not his actual defeat by the hands of Natsu. And now we have Neinhart, who fell in like that. I was expecting so much more from Neinhart's part. We didn't even get to fully comprehend his magic. It was just thrown out there. Oh, his magic can see the history of people's hearts and just make those memories alive. But we actually didn't quite understand the basics of the magic. If it was really just an illusion, if it was more than that. I To me it's not clear, although I want to think it's just I said just in brackets an illusion. It's so much more than an illusion, and I think it would be interesting for us to see some more development on that situation, on explaining just how his magic works, because he resurrected so many important people. We had Ur, we have Purahito, the second master of Fairy Tale, former members of Tartarus, a former member of the Seven King of the Purgatory. I mean, we had so many important people, Simon, Kaguya's brother, so many important people, and to have them just disappearing like that, it feels kinda cheaty to me. I enjoyed the chapter, I really did. It was an awesome chapter, even though I don't understand, I don't comprehend and accept kinda in brackets again. It's not my place to accept it. I can choose not to like it or like it. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, but I would have spent a little bit more time on certain details that and quote unquote, on my personal opinion. Let us not forget that it is my personal opinion. If you guys have any other opinion, please do share such opinions with me in the comment section down below. But if I was the author, I would have spent a little bit more time on some details that I would think it would make for a better involvement with the character, because it just seems like he has thrown Neinhart to the wolves and just left him there. Not a single piece of information was given about him, just his name, his magic's name, and he just to the top of a mast and then got hit by Jalal's attack. So, sorry about this rambling on just at the beginning of the video, but this is my honest and personal opinion on this week's chapter. I enjoyed it, but I thought it was too fast. Even though it was pretty good, it had an awesome ending, and for the first time in a very long time, because I have been making theories for a long time now, even if just for me and my friends, but I actually predicted in the last video, or I put as an hypothesis, that Lady Eillen, which Neinhart spoke of, could actually be one of the two members of the Springen 12 that were left to be presented to us. And guess what? For the first time in many, many years since I'm reading manga, I was actually right. Lady Eillen Basenstorm, I believe it's her name. I'll have to check. I'll have to check it at the end of the chapter. I believe it is Lady Eillen Basenstorm on something like that. And Neinhart says she's Erza's something. It doesn't finish that, but that something tends to be mother. So that's two theories on my part correct. GG for me. A round of applause for me. I guess most of you guys already thought or also thought about that. It's a pretty self-explanatory. It's a pretty easy thought to have, since taking in consideration his face, his concern over looking at her Erza and see her hair and be all sweaty, like it would be expected that Lady Eillen would be someone powerful and somehow related to Erza, and as it stands to be, she could and is probably Erza's mother. Apart from that, we see the fights between the resurrected people from Neinhart's magic and the ones they're fighting against. And this is the part where, to me, it could have been a little more spaced out. First thing of two. Ur versus Gray and Leon's fight was probably the best, even if it was a short one, at least on what we've seen. It was the best one, because it was actually an even fight, even though Ur was powerful, and even if it's not Ur, as Gray says, it was an even fight, and made up for some good panels and some good story-wise. Other battles, for instance, Wendy versus the guy from Tartarus, the one she fought against back in Tartarus arc, and other battles, Laxus versus Purihito, and the other one was Meridian Juvia versus Ancro and the Necromancer guy. That one was also cool. I mean, we didn't see much of it. It was just they performed the link, and then all of a sudden they had to defeat them both. So again, it was one of those very fast ones. But the ones that bugged me the most this chapter were Laxus versus Purihito and Wendy versus the other guy from Tartarus, because they were so injured, they couldn't move a few seconds before they have defeated them, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they are able to defeat them as if it was nothing. And that's when I think that a little bit more information on Neinhart's magic could be useful, because when we first saw his magic in action, when he resurrected those people, I believe that most of us fans, as I thought that, oh my god, he resurrected these powerful people. They will give them a lot of work to defeat. I thought that the only way they could disappear was if Neinhart would be defeated. And apparently that's not the case. Or it is, but it happened so fast that we don't get a chance to see it. Gray and Leon's victory and Meridian Juvi's victory is explainable. It's completely comprehensible, because all four of them were on even ground. They were not majorly wounded. They were not majorly tired from battles against high-end foes. But Wendy and Laxus, they both fought a Springen. And Wendy fought a very, very powerful one. So, for them to defeat their opponents that easily, it didn't feel right to me. Even though, yes, Wendy had Charla's help, and she carried her, even though I believe that for these fights to have been justifiable, I don't know if that's a word, if it's not, I just made that up, but for them to be comprehensible and for I to thoroughly enjoy them, it could. I just want to say, and I'm following the same point over and over again. Some more information should have been said, but still, as I said, I did enjoy the chapter, and all of a sudden, all four of them defeat their opponents in one fell swoop. Wendy uses Sky Dragon's Crushing Fang. Leon and Gray both use a fire. I believe they actually performed an unison raid. I don't know if that's the name of the combined attacks on Fairy Tail, a unison raid. I believe it is. I actually don't remember that, but they they made a combined attack. Luxus as well, and Juvie and Meredy, both all of them defeated their opponents. And now we go to the final part of the chapter where Jalal defeats Neinhart. Yes, I know Jalal is a very, very powerful man. He's a very, very fearsome magician, but still, it broke my expectations for Neinhart completely. Using Grand Chariot, the movie was about to use during the Grand Magic Festival and was stopped by Meredy, it's worth noticing. He just managed to defeat Neinhart just like that. And for me, this was the biggest bummer of this chapter. And and that's it. For me, these last few chapters have been advancing at a very fast pace. I know I said a few chapters back that I was having trouble in seeing a future, well, not seeing a future, but actually trying to predict what could come after the Spring 12. What could possibly happen in the future saga of Fairy Tail. And now I rectify that thought and add more concern on top of it because this is going so fast, so fast. Enemies are being dispatched just like that. That I'm starting to get a little bit worried. My hope is that with August, Lady Eillen, Zareth himself, and the other guy was Zareth, the Winter Lord. I believe that, and hopefully, those are the guys that are going to give the most trouble to defeat. Lady Ellen being considered, as said in this chapter by who's she? By Brandish, she is considered the strongest woman of the Spring and 12. If August is the strongest man, Lady Eillen, she's the strongest woman. And so my hope is that these four are going to be the ones that give the most work out of them all. And let's not forget the one that's in the northern front, called the Shinigami, whose real name we do not know yet, I believe. And if my calculations are correct, there's still one Springen left to be revealed, because there were 10 before Lady Eillen being revealed, and now I believe that leaves only one out of the equation. So who knows? Is he going to be revealed? Does he even exist? Is there even a 12th Springen? I mean, they are called the Springen 12, yes. But who knows? Maybe there's a vacant place? I don't know. And so the chapter ends with the revelation of Lady Eillen's figure, Lady Eillen's Belserion. I don't know how you pronounce that. You guys pronounce it how you want. And so, yes, next chapter, following on what I've been saying, is called the Monstrous Six, which I believe refers to the 6 strongest members of the Springen 12, apart from Zareth himself. So we have August, we have the Winter Lord, we have Lady Eillen, we have the guy up north, and we have the supposedly left to be known 12th Springen, and of course, making 6, we have Zareth himself. I believe the title of the next chapter is a reference to these six opponents that are left to be defeated. And I believe that this chapter actually marks, or the end of this chapter and the next chapter will mark the beginning of the end of the Alvarez saga. And I do sincerely hope that things from now on are going to be a little more paced out, a little more calm, actually taking the time to explain things that are necessary to develop the characters better than they have been so far. Because I mean, this saga has had a lot of good characters. The Spring and 12 have been good characters so far. If we, it wouldn't hurt for us to know a little bit more about them, especially about their magics, because sometimes their magics are just thrown out there, and we get to know, oh my god, such a cool magic. Jacob's magic was a cool magic. I enjoyed it a lot, but it just thrown it out there, and then we were like, okay, but how does it really work? I mean, how is it? Does it teleport to a parallel dimension? Does it just stay invisible? Does it do both? Because apparently it does both, but who knows? Speaking about Lady Helen herself, just a quick analysis of this beautiful lady's figure. I don't know if that's a glove or aka a gauntlet, but she got them nails. I wouldn't want to be scratched by those because those could rip the skin right off your face. And she apparently has a scar on her belly, on the left side of a belly, and she has a massive hair. I like it. Scarlet hair, even red hair. Who doesn't like her red hair? I don't know if this is a hat. This, I mean, it. I don't. I fail to see if it's just a hood or if it's a hat because it has like those things falling off of it. I don't know if she has hair inside of those things. Imagine she has a hat or a hood, and the hair just fills in the sockets. That would be pretty funny, actually. And she carries a staff, and it's not a common staff. It has like the joint, but then it forks both sideways. It's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting staff, and she's known as the Scarlet Despair. So I do believe that this lady will give a tremendous work to be defeated, and her magic will not be a laughing matter. So yes, this is it for me on Fairy Tales chapter of this week. I hope you have enjoyed it. I know, I've said some not bad things, but it's my opinion, and I know how hard there is to be respected on the internet. But this is my honest opinion. I made my best not to turn this into a very boring video. I hope I hope I have succeeded on that matter. If you thought this video boring, well, you might want to consider not watching the Seven Deadly Sins because that chapter was also very quick. So the review will be like 5 minutes at most. No, I'm just kidding. I will try to analyze the chapter to the best I can. But anyway, this is the fairy tale video, and for now I say my goodbyes to you. As I always say, please share your opinion with me in the comment section down below. I always want to hear you guys' opinion. Even if you don't ever share your opinion with me, I say once more, I am always eager to hear your guys' opinion. I want to hear them. That's the main reason I created this channel, is to share my opinion with you guys, and in return you don't share my opinions, you share your opinions with me. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and I will see you right away with the 7 deadly sins. Bye bye.